It was supposed to be just another electrifying night under the lights at Dodger Stadium. The fans were buzzing, the lights were blazing, and Shohei Ohtani was back on the mound, a sight that always guarantees excitement. But what no one could have predicted was that a single swing of Ohtani's bat would not only launch a ball over the center field wall but also ignite one of the most controversial investigations in recent MLB history. What started as a thrilling performance by baseball's most captivating superstar has now become the center of a nationwide scandal. The question on everyone's lips: did Shohei Ohtani cheat? Ohtani's return to the mound was already a major storyline. It was his first start since the All-Star break, and all eyes were on him to see how he'd perform post-injury. The game got off to a rough start when Ohtani gave up a home run to the very first batter, Byron Buxton of the Minnesota Twins, a rare occurrence for someone with Ohtani's elite pitching pedigree. But what happened next was pure Ohtani magic. In the bottom of the same inning, after Mookie Betts drew a walk, Ohtani stepped up to the plate and crushed a towering 2-run home run, his 35th of the season, bringing Dodger Stadium to its feet. It was a jaw-dropping moment of redemption, and it seemed like just another night of greatness from the two-way phenom. However, that very swing would soon be dissected by fans, analysts, and investigators alike. Hours after the Dodgers' victory, news broke that the Twins' coaching staff had lodged a private complaint with league officials. They claimed that Ohtani may have used an illegal bat during his at-bat. Initially, the accusation seemed baseless. But then, a slow-motion clip taken by an external stadium camera began circulating online. The footage, when zoomed in, showed a brief flash of light coming from the handle of Ohtani's bat. It was subtle, barely perceptible, but enough to send the internet into a frenzy. Some called it a lighting anomaly, others suggested it could be something more sinister. Image analysts and sports tech experts weighed in, pointing out that standard MLB bats don't typically reflect light in that way, especially under game conditions. Speculation exploded. Was Ohtani using a high-tech bat? Could it have been embedded with some form of performance-enhancing material? Rumors began swirling about nanotechnology, microsensors, and specially treated materials that could enhance a bat's elasticity or adjust the point of contact. With social media ablaze and the sports world demanding answers, MLB had no choice but to act swiftly. Within 24 hours, Major League Baseball launched a formal investigation. They collected every piece of equipment Ohtani had used during the game: his bat, batting gloves, cleats, uniform, and helmet. Everything was sealed and sent to a certified independent lab for analysis. Advanced testing procedures were immediately announced, including X-ray imaging, material composition testing, and electromagnetic field analysis to detect any embedded electronic components. Never before had a player of Ohtani's stature faced this level of scrutiny in such a short span of time. As the investigation unfolded, even more details emerged. Ohtani had reportedly used a bat featuring a photoluminescent handle, an experimental material designed to improve grip visibility in low-light environments. The bat had been approved for use in private training sessions and had passed prior inspections, but had never been used by Ohtani in an official MLB game until now. This detail became a lightning rod. Was it technically legal? Yes, but should it have been used in a live game without further approval? That's where opinions started to diverge. MLB's official stance was cautious. In a public statement, the league confirmed that the investigation was not about punishing innovation, but ensuring fairness. They made it clear that if the bat offered any unintended advantage, even if previously approved, it could still violate the spirit of competition. Meanwhile, Ohtani remained silent publicly, complying fully with investigators behind the scenes. He provided documents from his bat supplier, technical specs, and evidence that the Dodgers had included the equipment in their pre-game report to MLB. Even with transparency from Ohtani's camp, the baseball community remained divided. Some fans believed this was a witch hunt, a desperate attempt to tarnish one of the cleanest athletes in the game. They pointed to Ohtani's spotless record, his humility, and his long history of playing the game the right way. Others, however, urged caution, arguing that technology in sports is advancing rapidly and that regulations must evolve to keep pace. If one player is allowed to use advanced materials, even unintentionally, where do we draw the line? The media firestorm grew louder. Sports talk shows debated the incident endlessly. Former players weighed in, with some calling the investigation overblown and others stressing the importance of maintaining a level playing field. In Japan, Ohtani's homeland, fans rallied behind him, denouncing the accusations and urging the public not to jump to conclusions. Japanese media covered the incident nonstop, with many drawing parallels to past moments in sports, where innovation collided with tradition. Inside the Dodgers clubhouse, the team stood firmly behind their star. Coaches and players expressed full confidence in Ohtani's character, noting that he had never attempted to hide anything. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts called the situation frustrating and unnecessary, emphasizing that the team had nothing to hide and was fully cooperating with the league's investigation. As the MLB review process continues, the outcome could have far-reaching consequences. If Ohtani is cleared, not only will his reputation be restored, but he could also become a powerful voice in the conversation around innovation in sports. If, however, the investigation reveals even minor violations, the repercussions could be severe, not necessarily in penalties, but in public perception. In the high-stakes world of professional sports, sometimes perception is as damaging as guilt. Regardless of how this ends, one thing is clear: this incident has sparked a much-needed dialogue about the boundaries between technological advancement and fair play. In a game as steeped in tradition as baseball, change is always met with resistance, but innovation is inevitable. As athletes continue to push the limits of human performance, leagues must decide how to regulate those advances without stifling progress. Ohtani's case may end up being the flashpoint that forces that reckoning. For now, Shohei Ohtani continues to do what he does best: train hard, stay focused, and let his performance do the talking. And while the investigation plays out behind closed doors, fans, analysts, and fellow athletes around the world wait with bated breath to see what the verdict will be. Will he be vindicated, or will a single glowing bat handle cast a shadow over one of the most remarkable careers in modern sports?